So, are you still having trouble with the present perfect? Well, hopefully I'll be able to help. Stay with me. So, we're back once again looking at the present perfect. Now, this is one video in a series of videos on the subject of the present perfect. So have a look for those videos already uploaded. So what do I have for you today? Well, we're going to be practicing with the word ever, also with the present perfect. And if you're very good, I'll also throw in an extra word, and that is never. So ever and never with the present perfect. Let's get started. Now we use ever mostly with the present perfect and in questions. For example, have you ever been to France? Have you ever traveled to England? Have you ever eaten a Spanish paella? Have you ever driven a sports car? Have you ever played golf? Have you ever been on a cruise? Have you ever tried to understand the use of the present perfect? Okay, so all of those examples were questions, and the structure of the question was pretty much the same as like, have you ever? Okay, so this is the present perfect. Have you ever played, eaten, tried, etc., using the past participle of the verb? Okay, have you ever and a past participle. Now, could you avoid using ever? Yeah, you could say, have you seen this film? Have you traveled to England? Have you visited France? Those sentences or those questions are totally valid. But when you use the word ever, it does give it more emphasis, and it is a very, very typical question to ask. And basically, when you say ever, what you're asking is any time in your life. Okay, if I ask you the question, have you ever been to England? Okay, what I mean is, in your lifetime, have you been in England? So ever is referring to pretty much all of your life. Okay, so all of those examples were questions. Is ever exclusive to questions? Well, the answer is no. And here are some examples. It is the best movie I have ever seen. Okay, that's positive. It's not a question. It was the hottest summer I've ever experienced. Notice I've used the contraction I've. So it was the hottest summer I have ever experienced. It was the fastest car I have ever driven. And if you wish to be even more emphatic, and you could say, it is the fastest car I have ever driven in my life. But because ever and in my life kind of really mean the same thing, it's a little bit redundant to include in my life at the end of the sentence. Okay, now for some of you, there may be a little confusion between using ever and never in those previous examples. So if I say it is the fastest car I have ever driven, okay, it is not correct to say it is the fastest car I have never driven. Now, the reason I bring this up is I know that there are some languages that translate with never, okay, because that's the equivalent word in those other languages. Okay, so it is the fastest car I have never driven is not correct. Okay, you have to use ever. Okay, now never is always negative. So if you say I've never driven a fast car, okay, that's perfect, that's fine, but it's not the same example. So I've never been to where have I never been? I've never been to Australia. I hope to in the future, but so far I have never been to Australia. I have never driven a Ferrari. I have never swum with sharks. And I can tell you that is something I never intend to do. Okay, so never, negative, okay? Going back to ever, the question have you ever means in your life, and you can also use it in superlative ideas like it's the best I have ever seen. You can also use a superlative sentence, a shorter one, and say it's the best ever. Okay, it's the best ever movie, it's the best, or it's the fastest ever car. And as we've been on the subject of the present perfect, also present perfect and the past form, past simple, is it possible to use ever in the past simple? Well, it is. You could say did you ever. Okay, this is referring to a past time, has no relation with the present. For example, you could ask me a question about when I lived in England. You could say, did you ever see a show at the West End in London? Okay, perhaps it's more typical to use it in the present perfect form, have you ever, but did you ever is also possible, related to the past time. What else can I tell you about ever? Well, what about the example forever and ever? Totally redundant, because forever means forever, but if you say forever and ever, it just gives it more emphasis. Okay, and that's about it really with ever that I can think of for this video. If you have any further doubts or questions related to the use of ever or never or the present perfect, drop them in the comments below. If you have your own examples you'd like to share with others, please feel free to do so in the comments. And also let me know about any other videos you'd like me to do on any other subject in the future. And for now, I'm going to say, go practice some English, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.